cuando yo digo que like soy de Richmond y yo represento Richmond, like presento toda mi gente, like my thing that I stand on is paving the way for the Latinos, you know what I mean? I'm gonna open the eyes, I'm gonna expose a lot of things that community needs to know about. When I used to be with my maestras and everything, siempre me regañaban, they'll be like, oh, you're not gonna be anything.
You were talking about how the community of Richmond, the food business in particular, they don't really support you and they bash you in a way. Let's go more into depth with that. Hello everyone, this is your host Julian. Welcome back to the Better Discipline Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to follow.
If I keep on pushing info, where the people get the message disrespected. People in the past that keeps reflecting. If I asked you for the route, would you give me the directions, second chances? But all I really do is second guess.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Better Discipline Podcast. This is episode 4, and today we have a very special guest. He started off in Richmond and now is in Vallejo. We have TACOS El PANZON. Introduce yourself, bro.
Hey, my name is Alex. I'm from Richmond, and I'm the owner of TACOS El PANZON.
And where you from, bro?
I'm from Chavinda, Michoacan.
And how did you end up in Richmond?
Well, I mean, my family, this is just where I grew up at.
Were you born here or in Chavinda?
Oh, I was born here.
You're born here?
Yeah.
Y toda la vida in Richmond?
Yeah, toda la vida, like Richmond, San Pablo, you know.
Dope. And what did you do as a kid? Or were you around a lot of cooking?
My dad and all my uncles, yeah, they were all taqueros.
Yeah. And that's what got you into doing tacos?
I'll say that's what paved the way.
Yeah.
It wasn't really what got me into it, but yeah, it did open my eyes to it and made it a possibility.
What were you doing before doing tacos?
I had my construction company.
Construction?
Yeah.
How long were you doing construction?
I want to say 3-4 years, probably like since I started my construction company when I was 17.
17?
Yeah, and then I ended it when I was 22.
And that's when you started doing the tacos?
Exactly.
So what made you take that step from going from construction to tacos?
It was just something it's because I started with the tacos at a night market. I don't know if you remember, like a couple of years ago they had one in Richmond, or like a year ago I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got started with that. I was trying to find something like, you know, to do on the weekends to bring in extra money, and then it was just like Richmond just fell in love with it. They just they're like, oh, you need to do it full time, and it just
Nice. And where was your first spot, your first location?
My first spot was the night market, but then after that, that's when we moved to 23rd we moved to a different gas station before that, but we were only there for like one day. I was there with like Rosti and stuff, you know, Rosti Lotes.
Yeah.
And we got fucking kicked out the first day. So then we went to 23rd, right there on the gas station. What's it called? One Gas Stop or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know which one.
Yeah. That's where we started at.
¿Y tus tacos son recetas tuyas o son de la familia?
I'll say it's from the family, but everyone kind of puts their own spin on it.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. You've been doing tacos for all these years. What do you think has made you successful?
I'll say what made me successful, I'll say what separated me was just the quality.
Quality of tacos?
And yeah, I just never... Because the thing is, people, when they get to a certain point, I mean, everybody notices it. Like, when businesses start, the food is so good. And then once they have a big fan base and everything, you just, didn't taste the same as it used to, you know what I mean? Because then they start cutting corners, not using the expensive ingredients anymore, and all that matters, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I think what makes your tacos very unique is that you do them in front of the people.
Yeah.
I've seen on Instagram that you have a lot of videos of you doing them in front of the people.
Yeah. People just love it when they come.
Yeah.
They always say that it's like a little piece of Mexico. They feel like they're in Mexico.
It gives the vibe of being in Mexico, porque sé que in Mexico they do it right in front of you, and you know they have everything outside.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's different because now you see a lot of taco trucks, and you know they're kind of closed in, so you can't really see what they're doing.
But it also helps a lot of taco trucks because, I mean, not knocking them, but a lot of people, that's the thing. That's the thing that comes with, you know, us being out there. We also have to be on top of everything because you guys can see everything. You know what I mean? So it's a gift, but it's also a curse. So you know what I mean? If, you know, si algo no se ve bien, la gente va a notar luego. And in the lunch trucks, I've been in some and you're like, damn, like, what you guys be serving like? You know what I mean? It'd be like, yeah, it'd be.
Y I know you're in Vallejo now. What made you want to move to Vallejo?
Well, I came to Vallejo just because that's where I want to open my number 2 at. So I've been having hella problems at the Richmond location with just other vendors, like businesses. And they just been making it impossible for me, you know what I mean, to run my business. So I said, you know what I mean, nomás faltan 3 meses del año.
Yeah.
I was like, I might as well just get started on number 2. Y como
A
ya va a
new
empezar.
location. So you have 2 locations?
Exactly, yeah.
You have one here in Richmond and one in Vallejo.
Exactly. Yeah, the
Wow.
one in Richmond right now is we have it closed for the rest of the year, but yeah, New Year's we're gonna be back.
Nice. That's dope. That's dope. Having 2 locations, is it hard to manage both of them at the same time, or you have family members managing them?
I'll say it's something that we're kind of diving into. You know what I mean? Because we still haven't had both of them open at the same time.
Right.
But right now, like our plan in Vallejo is we're trying to create a new team, but while still keeping the team we have from Richmond. You know, because everybody needs to eat. Everybody still needs to make their money.
Yeah.
So we kept the original team, and we also just brought more people in. So that way, when we decide to open the Richmond one again, we'll have Vallejo already established.
Nice. And I've actually personally never tried any of your tacos, but I've seen them on Instagram a lot, and you're blowing up on Instagram.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you started seeing those numbers accumulate? The total followers, I think if I'm not mistaken, you have over 20,000 followers.
Yeah, I think it's like 22 something right now. No, I don't know. It's just crazy, man. You know what I mean? When I started, remember I was excited about having like 300 followers. You know what I mean? And it was just one day. You know, I was like, I'm gonna blow up, and then now that it happened, it's like I didn't even. It just happens overnight. You know what I mean? It's a process.
Right.
It's a process. You know, everyone gets distracted trying to be at the finish line. That once
Exactly.
you get there, you're like, oh shit, like look everything.
You don't fall in love with the process of it.
Exactly.
And do you feel as if you're gonna do tacos your whole life, or what is your goal for the future?
My plan is to my plan, like it's always gonna be food related. My plan is to have at least 2-3 locations here in in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And then my big dream is just to go to Lake Tahoe. Since Lake Tahoe's full season when it's snowing, when it's over, and just open a lonchera out there or a restaurant. And just be right there on the strip, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's something that I really want to push, you know what I mean? Because for me, that's another thing I don't get. Like I feel like there's a lot of these people who pelean entre ellos.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I feel like everybody has a little bit, you know what I mean? But I feel like the people we should really try to be like is like those top heads, like you know what I mean? Like tacos,
Exactly.
what was it, Tacos El Gordo in Las Vegas, like.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, that to me is like, that's where I want to be. You know what I mean?
That inspires you to keep going.
Exactly.
And getting onto that, so what motivates you to keep doing what you're doing?
I'll say a lot of things. I mean, I'll say 3 of the main things is one, I'll say my dad, because in reality, the life I'm living is probably the life that was for my dad. Mm-hmm. The only thing is my dad, he had it was a different lifestyle for our parents. You know what I mean? They had to make sure they had the house, the bills, the food for us. And so my dad didn't get that opportunity to take the risk and go full on in a restaurant. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's kind of like I feel like he's my motivation because I have to, like I'm basically living this for me and for him. You know what I mean? Because if I would have never opened this, he would have never got to experience, what he always wanted to. Because from the beginning, he was the one that was the real taquero who, you know what I mean? The one who taught me.
You're continuing his legacy.
Exactly.
Yeah, representing the name.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so for me, it's like for me, at least here in California, and I was the last one. You know what I mean? I was the last one in the family who could have made it happen. You know what I mean? Because all my other family members, my cousins, my brothers, no one wanted to seguir the legacy.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to take the risk.
Yeah. So
what made you take the risk?
I don't know. It was something that I enjoyed doing. You know what I mean? It was, it's just something, when you throw the sauce and you catch it and, and just give it to the people. It's just like, it just takes people by surprise. And
y te recuerda estar en Mexico.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's an amazing experience, I think, to be able to do that with your food.
Yeah.
Because I know we all fall in love with our food at home. I think everybody can agree that the best food is our parents' food.
Yeah.
And you're able to bring, the recuerdos of when you taste the tacos and you're like, oh, this reminds me of Mexico. And also visualizing when you're making the tacos, it takes you back to Mexico. I personally think that's why you're being very, very successful.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see yourself opening maybe a restaurant?
It's because I mean I would like to open a restaurant, but the thing is, I feel like right now the way the world is, I feel like a brick and mortar is a little harder to maintain. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like after coronavirus and everything, I feel like people more got accustomed to outdoors,
Outdoor
to
eating.
exactly to oh let me just go in and out, or not
Yeah.
everyone wants to sit in a restaurant anymore. And the thing about a restaurant is you can't move your restaurant and say me voy a ir aquí, me voy a ir aquí. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
And
can't. You can like kind of explore the different areas where
ex-
like you can pop off, and with the restaurant you're kind of just stuck in that
exactly,
one same spot.
exactly, and you depend more like on the city, on there's a lot of factors that come into it. And also, even if a restaurant is fully booming, then you start running into problems with maximum capacity and
Yeah.
todas esas cosas.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like it's not really the best investment.
Yeah. Well, I know you recently just did your grand opening, Vallejo. How did that go?
That was good.
Yeah.
It was
Was
good.
there a lot of familiar faces from Richmond?
There was a lot of familiar faces, and there was also a lot of new faces, which what threw us off guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when, because in reality, for us, even with my team, that was something that we were talking about. We're like, we made it in Richmond. We weren't, we felt like in Richmond, we didn't really have to worry about anything anymore. It was kind of like we had our fan base, we had our clientels,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were set. And for us, it was like, not a lot of businesses can get up and move across, especially across a bridge, and still succeed. You know what I mean? It's a whole,
Yeah.
a lot of
It's a
that's
whole different like city.
exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they ven el puente, oh, no, wait, para allá, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for us, we're grateful that it wasn't like that, that it was, everyone supported us.
There was still a lot of support there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw on your Instagram story not too long ago that you're doing an event, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
What is the event about?
Vamos a dar tacos gratis. We're trying to, we're trying to help get money for a funeral. Just para despedirlo, and just to take care of the family, para despedir, in terms of the funeral costs and everything. But right now, even with that, it's something that I want to, I'm trying to do. It's something I'm doing from my heart. It's not something that I'm doing to profit from.
Yeah.
But even there, like today, I was having phone calls with the county and the city because they don't want that to, they don't want to allow me to do that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's, that's another obstacle I'm facing, even when someone wants to help the community. Because that's the thing about my business. And that's also what kills a lot of these other businesses is I'm like, cuando yo digo que like soy de Richmond y yo represento Richmond, like yo lo represento. I mean, like yo represento toda mi gente, like from an elotero to a fucking, a full-on business,
Yeah.
And for me, that's what they don't like, you know what I mean? And that's why a lot of people want to get me out, and porque they know that my process was I have a little bit of both worlds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yo no soy como these other negocios que cuando llegan a un cierto lugar se olvidan de cómo comenzaron.
Yeah. ¿De dónde vienen?
Exactly, and that's the problem that I'm having with a lot of these businesses on 23rd, that they forget. You know what I mean? Like for me, even like this funeral event that I'm trying to do, this is something that is coming from my heart. You know what I mean? It's something that I want to do to help the family, and also because he was one of my clients. And even there, they try to make my life impossible.
Yeah. But to even have the possibility to do what you're doing is actually amazing.
Yeah.
It's really good that you're involved with the community.
Yeah.
Do you look into doing anything in the future for the community?
Oh yeah, no, I had even if I would have never I would have never left Richmond, man, I had big plans. You know what I mean? And I'm still, I'm still gonna do them. It's just I can't do them to the max of my ability that I wanted to.
Yeah.
But like me and my team, man, we were gonna give out free pumpkins. We were gonna have kids come to our lot and carve them for free.
Oh, that's dope.
Give out free candy.
That would be nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We were gonna decorate out. We had a budget where we were just gonna make it like not a haunted house, but just a whole bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah.
And we were gonna come together with the businesses also, But it's like I said, for Christmas we wanted to go to LA, go buy toys. There's a lot of stuff that we wanted to do that we're still gonna do, but we just wanted to do it like super big for everyone,
And now it kind of limits it to because of the obstacles that you're facing.
Exactly.
Not a lot of people agreeing with what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff like that. You said you've overcome a lot of obstacles. Has any of that ever made you want to give up?
In terms of businesses, like obstacles that have came with them, I'll say no. I'll say with them, they've just been giving me more motivation. Entre más quieren que yo caiga, más me levanto.
Más te levantas,
Exactly. So for me, it's it's like, you know what I mean? Ellos nomás le están echando gas a la lumbre, you know what I mean?
Simón.
So for me, it's, you know what I mean? And the thing about me is, I know that this is my thing. My business and my thing, I know is, man, we created so much problems and we would only open 3 days. You know what I mean? And so for us, since we would only open 3 days, the thing for us is, imagine when we open every single day. Like, what are these
Right.
businesses gonna say then? Like, fuck,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's why for us, it's like, you know what I mean? It's our day's coming and everything. You know, I just hope they're ready for it because, like I said, I'm gonna open the eyes. I'm gonna expose a lot of things that the community needs to know about. Besides, on these businesses on 23rd, because it's what, it's our problem. This is also something that we like to make known. Our problem, like in terms of Tacos El Panzon,
Yeah.
we don't have problems with the city. We don't have problems with the police, the county, nothing. It's just with these businesses on 23rd, what they're doing. You know what I mean? They have this association that they think it's, they abuse their power and their loyalty. That's not their loyalty, their, ¿cómo se dice? Their seniority.
Yeah.
They abuse their seniority. You know what I mean? If you fill the right people's pockets up, you know what I mean? Then you can do this and that. And that's not how,
So they're like kind of bashing on you to limit where you can actually take your business to and the heights you can reach with it.
Exactly. So like with me, one of the big obstacles I'm having is, one of the big arguments I'm having with why my business isn't operating was, one, they were harassing my clients. One was they were harassing my clients. One was they were harassing me, my workers. And another thing was that they were saying, oh, he's stealing all of our clients. None of the businesses on 23rd, we don't have clients. He took all of them from us. When he's open, we might as well close. So for me, it was, what kind of arguments are those, to say it's el sol sale para todos.
But that happens with all businesses, though. I feel like, there shouldn't be a reason to why they're bashing in that way because, es como, like, I'm sure a lot of people know, but on 23rds, on Saturdays and Friday nights, there tends to be a lot of vendimia.
Yeah.
Pero nunca se dan como, este se puso al lado de mí or something like that.
No, yeah, pero es que, como te digo, it's not even, no es nuestra gente, like, you know what I mean? It's not, and the thing about me is, I'm a full business and, in terms of legitimacy and everything, but, yo todavía represento mis vendors, you know what I mean? I'm always going to represent them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because that's what I was when I started, and I want to create a pathway for them. And that's kind of what I tell them, the arguments, how, you go down 23rd, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, ves todos los vendedores, hasta it's a vibe. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hasta gente viene de otros lados, like, just to experience that.
Yeah, exactly.
And these other businesses on 23rd, they see it as competition, you know what I mean? And that's
And debes de ayudarles.
Exactly.
And
that's,
grow together.
Yeah, and that's like, I know, like, a couple of days ago, we were on my story, I got a little emotional and
I think I saw it that you went to the city and etc. Yeah.
So things like that for us, it's just me. I'm trying to defend my business and also defend my vendors, but it's kind of hard, when you're if I'm the only one fighting against them, like I'm in a room with like 20 people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing that kills me is out of those 20 people, none of those people would talk the way they talk if they were outside of that room. You know what I mean? Like, hasta dijeras like, no, este ni es Latino. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just things that they say, arguments they have, discussions they have, topics. It's just they look down upon people. And that's what I tell them. I tell them, like, everyone wants to have a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like los que están allá en las banquetas, they don't want to be out there in the cold. They don't want to be scared that they're going to get robbed. That's not what they want, but they have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And their arguments, always because they don't, this, that. And it's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Everyone starts somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, that's just a big argument that I have with them.
What advice can you give to those who are wanting to start their own business?
Yeah. I mean, advice, I'll say, just, no te dejes, just stick to it. Si un día vas a triunfar. And the most important thing I could say is no tenerle envidia a nadie. You know what I mean? La envidia es bad. You know what I mean? Si tienes envidia, mejor no te metas en el negocio, que es envidiosos hay de sobra en esto.
Yeah. Y también como dijiste, you mentioned que you stopped doing construction, did to tacos. can you also say that you should, really be passionate about what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say yeah. Lo que late, like whatever makes you wake up in the morning and you're more happy to do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
even me, you know, right now tacos. I mean, it's not a walk in the park, you know what I mean. Especially now, like with all the controversy I'm getting, you know, a veces me levanto like fuck, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Pero, you know, what motivates me and which motivate other people is we're in a time where we need to create a path for all of our Latinos. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
there's not a lot of there's not a lot of vendors that have become businesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was blessed to be one. So for me, it's like every time it's like I can't give up because the day I give up is the day these businesses dicen sí, like ganamos. You know what I mean?
You
Like
think there's a lot of people that look up to you?
yeah, I'll say there's
Yeah.
a lot of people who look up to me, a lot of vendors. Because the thing about me is since I did this tacos things, I blew up. I nunca dejé mis dos patas de dar plantados, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm still
Le
for the
diste
people.
con todo.
Exactly.
100% y más.
Yeah, y
Yeah.
todavía apoyo a todos, you know what I mean? For me, it's todos, whether you sell tacos, whether lo que tú vendas, you know what I mean? Eso no me importa, ¿me entiendes? Lo que me importa a mí es que te vaya bien, you know what I mean?
Simón. Yeah.
I'll never see anyone as a rival or que, no, es que él tiene una fila, no, si él tiene una fila es porque él está haciendo algo bueno, ¿me
Hasta te da
entiendes?
más orgullo.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I mean? O para apoyarte, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Si un día yo, you know what I mean? It's like me, yo ahorita ando empezando, tengo unas filononas. Yo sé que en 3 años, 2 años va a salir alguien que está más chingón que yo, you know what I mean? Y yo le voy a decir, ¿sabes qué? Eres más chingón, por eso es que me estás ganando, you know what I mean? No es que, oh, te quiero buscar cositas para poder tumbarte, no. Así es la vida, si no sale uno más chingón que tú, que usted, significa que pues nosotros andamos fallando como latinos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cada año debe de andar saliendo algo nuevo, algo nuevo.
Exacto.
You know what I
Para
mean?
poder crecer como latinos, como
Exactly.
dijiste.
Yeah.
Exactly. Y hay muchos latinos de nosotros en la área donde vivimos, Richmond,
Yeah.
to be specific, that don't get treated right by the police y todo
No,
eso. In the future, I know you have a great success right now. In the future, would you be down to do like an event where all these vendors come together to one spot and kind of just do like
Yeah.
maybe not a giveaway, but something has to do with the community? I think that would be really dope.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's why when I have once I'm back in Richmond, that's what I'm saying. They don't know, like they think
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, they think it's over, and now for me it's like
It's just beginning.
exactly like
Apenas estás empezando.
exactly. And that's why I tell
Yeah.
them I'm only 22, and for me I'm really, the thing about me is I really love Richmond, and a mí no me da miedo invertir dinero para atrás in
Yeah.
Richmond, how it should be, you know what I mean? Because a lot of these businesses, they live off Richmond, pero no dan un centavo, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Lo más porque pagan sus taxes, they think, oh, I pay my taxes, eso es todo, no, like, esta ciudad te está dando de comer, tú también debes de decir, ¿sabes qué? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aquí está, o vamos a hacer esto para los morros, o ¿sabes qué? You know?
Yeah.
Pero it's not like that. A lot of people, I know back then, gente ayudaba un poco más, pero all that shit's corrupt now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know it, pero, I didn't notice that until I became a legit business, and I saw what's going on 23rd, and some of this corrupt, you know what I mean? It's not what it used to be, you know what I mean? Para la gente, you know what I mean? Now, hay gente pagándose, hay gente, it's dirty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not going to change unless someone steps up, and that's why me, I'm stepping up and I'm defending everyone, because for me it's el dinero no me va a cambiar, you know what I mean?
Right.
Para mí, si tengo un centavo o si no tengo nada, I'm still going to stand up for my priorities, you know what I mean? Porque al final eso es todo lo que te llevas, you know what I mean? Your legacy.
Exacto.
El dinero se queda.
Exacto. From a kid, did you always think to yourself that you'd become an entrepreneur?
I'll say when I was a kid, la cosa conmigo es cuando yo era morro, andaba por like malos pasos and stuff. I'm not to decir que fui un santo and stuff, but the one thing que siempre till this day I remember is when I used to be with my maestras and everything.
Yeah.
Siempre me regañaban. They'll be like, "Oh, you're not gonna be anything," or "Oh, like I remember I used to like getting tattooed," and they'd be like, "No te vas a tatuar." And I remember my argument used to always be like, "Nah, es que yo voy a ser mi propio patrón. A mí nadie me va a andar regañando si estoy tatuado o algo." And then,
Y cuando did you develop that mentality of wanting to, actually take the risk to do your own business? You did construction first. What made you do construction first?
When I started in construction, first I started off as a helper. My thing was always like, my motto desde que yo era morro siempre era, why make el rico? You know what I mean? That was just my mindset, you know, nothing against them. It was just, for me, it was just, you know, a veces nuestros Latinos, they, cada día le andan chingando y chingando y at the end of the day, si algo pasa o si se mueren, you know what I mean? Nadie, you know what I mean? Ahí queda, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just replaced. They just replace you like nothing. So for me, it was always, whatever I have to do it por me, you know what I mean? And that was just always my mindset. Y me aventé en la construcción. I mean, pues claro, you know, I've messed up at first, mistakes, trial and error, pero the thing that motivated me was que when I messed up, I knew it was because I messed up, you know what I mean? And I'd rather mess up knowing that I tried than
Te
mess up.
levantabas tú solo.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're learning from all your mistakes.
Yeah.
Do you still make mistakes and like learn from them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and in the tacos, I make a lot of mistakes too. I'll be out there. Me and my dad, I call him Little Joe. We'd be out there ready to chunk him, bro. It should be.
Así es entre la familia.
Yeah, it should be. It'd be rough because me and my dad were. Man, pues tú sabes. You know, when you're in there, and me and my dad have two different personalities. My dad's like the type of person que a las 5, 6 in the morning, he's up already trying to do something. You know what I mean? I'm more like, come on, bro, it's a little too early. Tranquilízate.
You're kind of like the memes that you see on TikTok que las mamás on Sundays blasting music a las 6 de la mañana.
No, yeah, that'd be my pops, bro. He'd be, vámonos. I'd be like, jefe, mejor ve a levantar los gallos o algo, because it's too early, bro. That should be bad.
Oh, man. So you've been doing this for a couple years now. What does a day in selling tacos look for you?
A day in selling tacos for me is,
What is your day-to-day schedule?
I'll say, first, you know, me levanto. I gotta, as soon as I get up, I gotta drive to the location, you know, where we're selling. So for right now, as it's in Vallejo. So I drive to Vallejo, I get everyone set up, kind of give them the scope. They kind of already know what to do, but I just always have to just tell them, hey, you know, this is what we're doing today. Then from there, I'll go to the carniceria, or the carnicero, whatever would come and deliver it for me, or if I send one of my workers within those lines. Because the thing about me is yo agarro la carne fresca todos los días.
Todos los días.
Todos los días
Es carne fresca.
Por eso sabe diferente. You know?
¿Verdad? Todos los días.
Todos los días. Aquí no nada de que me quedó para mañana. Nada.
Puedo ponerlo en el freezer. Ahí quedó para mañana.
Hell no. Lo mío siempre todo fresco.
¿Y las salsas y todo eso también el mismo día?
Todo fresco. Todo
Wow.
fresco. Pues, de ahí sale...
¿Verdad?
De ahí sale el chiste.
Ahí sale el sabor. Por eso sabe bueno.
Yeah, pues digo, so everything, todo fresco, salsa, cilantro, cebolla, todo from, you know, manteca nuevo, todo from the beginning. Hasta canzones nuevos, you know.
You were talking about earlier about how the community of Richmond, the food business in particular, they don't really support you and they bash you in a way. Let's go more into depth with that. You were talking about how you went to the city and you were speaking with them and, you know, there was a lot of disagreements.
So I went to the city with them, what was it, on Tuesday? You know, they have because that's what a lot of things that the community doesn't know, that these businesses have these meetings at the, you know, where they...
And these businesses, you mean the businesses on 23rd in particular, or...
It's the businesses on 23rd. Let's put it this way. That's why I say they call it association. I call it more so a mafia, you know, because the thing is, that association, they pick and choose who supports them. If you know, it's like if me and you say we're trying to stand up for something, if you don't have the same mentality as me, if you don't want these people gone, or you know,
yeah, if you don't get like enough votes in a way.
Exactly. For them, it's if you don't represent what I want to do, they won't call you. You know what I mean? So they only want people. For example, like right now, what's a big topic is getting the vendors out, and a lot of the businesses on 23rd, they want them out. They want them out. So they all come together. And there are some businesses that say, no, I don't want a part of it. Like I know Discolandia is probably one of like the most loyal guys I've met, you know, on the business. You know, he's all for mi gente, you know what I mean? He's all for the Latinos and he wants no part of it, you know? And he's the one who tells me to, you know, tú ve allá y, you know what I mean? To stand tall, you know what I mean? He's the one que que me echa apoyo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, te da la mano.
Exactly, exactly. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, he has to protect his business also, but él es el que me, pues, you know what I mean? Gives me motivation to, you know what? You could do it, you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
don't let them get over on you. And so that's why when I go to these meetings, you know, I just started going because there was you know, I'm a business on 23rd, but like I say about the mindsets, you know, if you don't have the same mindset, for me, they would try to keep these meetings from me.
Yeah.
They'll tell me, I'll be like, hey, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and they'll kind of disclose you from it.
Exactly. They'll tell me like, oh, it's this day. When the day comes, I'm like, where are we meeting? Well, you know, what time? And they won't reply to me. They'll be like, or they'll tell me, oh, don't worry about it. We're just going to talk about the today. We're not going to talk about the businesses. You don't have to go. Or, oh, it's going to be through Zoom. It's not going to be through person. You know, just trying to.
Yeah, trying to keep you out of it.
Exactly. Trying to bob me away.
What do these businesses do in particular? Like, they just bash on everyone, or they bash on anyone?
They come into these rooms, and you know, it's let's put it this way: what they say in there, they will never say outside, because they know if the community got a hold of it, their business is done. You know what I mean? What they forget is Latinos are the ones that, you know, make these businesses run. You know what I mean? They're in Richmond, the primary, you know, client that you get is a Latino.
Yeah.
And if these stories, you know, what they say in these rooms gets out, it'll be the end of them, and they know that. So that's why por eso se juntan en bola. You know what I mean? That's why when do you hear them say, hey, we're going to stand up as a society, as the businesses, and we're going to have this meeting for all the community to come, and let's get these vendors out? Or never.
Yeah, it's more closed, behind closed doors.
Exactly. They're just, it's behind closed doors. What they do is, hacen estas juntas, they go to the city, and they just put so much pressure on the city. That's why I say, you know, for us, we shouldn't be angry at the city. We shouldn't be angry at the police. We shouldn't be angry at the county. Nothing like that. You know what I mean? They're just doing their job.
Yeah.
The problem is that they have these vendors on 23rd, these businesses that are just on their neck. Like, hey, you know, I'm not going to pay my taxes. I'm not going to do this. Just do your job, or else I'm going to sue you. Like, that's been a big thing. You know, how are you going to sue the city? You know what I mean? That makes no sense. You know what I mean?
It doesn't really make sense.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like they forget their morals. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I would say on my part that I really respect about the city, and I respect about, you know, the police officers, the county, that it's the same thing that they tell the businesses. Hey, you know, it's legal right now. You know, there's certain laws changed. We can't get these vendors out of the streets, you know, but the thing is, it's that constant pressure, you know, it kind of puts them towards a wall where the city kind of sometimes has to do things that they don't want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a problem, you know, a big problem that I'm trying to fight. And, you know, I'm trying to be the voice. And same thing I tell for the city. I want to be a voice for the city. I want to be a voice for my Latinos, my vendors. And I want to enforce the process. You know what I mean? For me, it's the process. Que la gente pueda llegar de aquí from where they're at to be in a business.
You want to pave the way for them to be successful, every single one of them.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something that with me, I feel like I have a lot of power, because I have a lot of Latinos and vendors just in general behind me, you know?
Yeah, that support you.
Exactly.
And stand on with whatever you stand on.
Exactly. And that's something that I want all my followers and all my people to know, that by me, you know, having these interviews, by me making the videos I do, I'm putting my business in jeopardy, because I'm just creating more animosity towards me. You know, there's more businesses that they're like, oh man, he's just exposing us. You know, he's telling the truth. And that's what I say, you know, for me, a mí me importa más la gente que el dinero. You know what I mean? And that's something that's always going to be with me. You know, if I lose my business doing this, I don't care. You know what I mean? Pues le busco otro rollo. But my thing that I stand on is paving the way for the Latinos. You know what I mean? Y todos somos iguales.
Exacto. Todos empezamos desde abajo y tratando de subir como otros han subido, ¿verdad?
Exactly.
Y como like you said, like how you have the name, you have the support, you want to be able to like I said, pave the way for all these vendors and, you know, grow successful.
Yeah, and it's like, pues como tú dices también, like how we were saying, in Mexico, ¿cuántos venden tacos? You know what I mean?
¿Verdad?
Y no,
un puesto aquí, un puesto allá, un puesto aquí.
Y no pelean, you know what I mean?
No,
y aquí la gente viene aquí y se lo olvidan, you know what I mean? Nomás quieren para ellos.
Se les sube el dinero.
Exactly.
O la envidia.
Yeah.
Como dicen, they forget where they came from.
Exactly.
And where they started from.
And that's what kills me, because me growing up in Richmond, all my family grew up in Richmond. I know a lot of these businesses when they started,
Yeah.
no empezaron bien.
Yeah.
Especially, there's car dealerships, there's car dealerships involved. No empezaron bien. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Empezaron con carros robados, you know what I mean? Bajándole las millas a los
Mm-hmm.
carros, un chingo de cosas, you know what I mean? Pero ahora se lucen que son otra cosa, you know what I mean?
Y son cosas que la gente no sabe.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of these businesses, like, for example, like how I said about the cars, son latinos chingando a otros latinos, ¿no me entiendes? Nomás porque no tienen crédito, no tienen,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, no, a lot of these businesses, they're supposedly for the Latinos, but they actually take advantage of the Latinos.
Son doble cara.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nomás te dicen lo que quieres escuchar.
Yeah. O sea, no tienes warranty en el carro hasta que nomás que salga el del dealership. Es todo.
Lo puedes regresar en 3 días.
Eso digo, no, está pesado, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exacto. Y what struggles did you face when you were first starting off?
When I was first starting off, I'll say the struggles that I faced were, I'll say just the whole business part. You know what I mean? For me,
you weren't really like well educated in what you were doing.
it's because there's a difference from being a puesto and a business. So for me, it was just, I didn't really have guidance. You know what I mean? I try to look out, I try to talk to people on 23rd. I try to source myself out and, buscar apoyo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and find people, you know what I mean? Other people that were in the business and see what was going, hey, can you help me out? This is what I'm doing. Y todos nomás te ayudan si pueden beneficiar de ti, you know what I mean?
See if there's something in return, solamente.
Yeah, so when I was no one, I would say I had a little more support from other people. And the same thing, my pops, my mom, they would tell me, ellos no son tus amigos, ellos nomás te quieren chingar, you know what I mean? Tú nomás te crees de la gente. And it was true porque ya when I became something and people started seeing the little bit of lines at the gas station, that's when, boom, like it was like a bomb that went off. Everybody was like, ¿Quién es ese panzón? The way they used to describe me was, ¿Quién es ese panzón? Se mira morro, pero me está chingando toda la clientela. You know what I mean?
Era un morro listo.
Yeah.
Ponte listo, me decía mi madre all the time. Shout out to my mom. She's always like, ponte listo, a la abusada.
Yeah, and it's just crazy because, I thought, it's because the thing about me and my business was no one in the area made that leap from being a vendor to a business.
So what guidance can you give to those who want to go from a vendor to a business?
I'll say, one thing is, que siempre van a tener, they can always contact me and I'll always, help them.
Ayudarles, darle el apoyo.
Exactly, darles el apoyo. But, I'll say primarily is just don't give up, you know what I mean? Don't give up. And right now, I want to tell them, what they want to hear right now, but it's hard, you know what I mean? Because I'm going through it as myself right now. I'm a vendor. I became legit. I invested so much money into, where I'm at. That's what a lot of people don't see, like these other businesses. I invested a lot of money to be where I'm at, and it still hasn't benefited me. You know what I mean? For me, I've still been harassed. I've still been going through all these problems. Whereas at that point, was it even worth, everything that I did, everything I invested? Was it even worth it? Because at the end, it's me va igual. You know what I mean? They still consider me a vendor. They still look down upon me, and I'll never be able to be one of them. One of the business. They'll never see me in the eyes, whether I have all my permits, whether I have all my, everything. Everything legit. They will never look at me as a business because, I've had these conversations with them, with the big heads in the association, and the conversations they have is they just look down upon me, and it's an argument that I had with one of the heads of the association. I told them, hey, this is a business association, right, on 23rd. I was like, last time I checked, my business was on 23rd. I was like, you guys should be representing me also and helping me, And the response that I got from him was, nomás porque tienes un parqueadero no significa que eres un negocio como nosotros. And that's when I said, damn, and that's what I told him. I said, discúlpame que yo no tengo, un taller como usted. I was like, discúlpame, but I was like, lo poco que yo tengo, si es un parqueadero lo que es, pero es mío. You know what I mean? Yo le estoy echando ganas.
Sí, no saben de lo que pasé para llegar a este punto.
Exactly. And that's what I told him. I was like, yo nomás tengo 22 años, le estoy echando ganas, yo quiero hacer las cosas bien. He's like, yo le dije, como son una afición, o sea, yo pensé que la asociación va a decir, sabes que este morro era vendedor, pero ahora quiere hacer las cosas bien, debemos de apoyarlo para poder decirles a los otros vendedores, mira, hagan lo que él hace y lo pueden llegar y sin
Yeah.
tener problemas. Pero en vez de apoyarme y decir, sabes qué, él quiere ser bien, nomás me querían tumbar. Or like, with with that individual, yo le dije, ¿por qué no me proteges? You know what I mean? Yo soy uno de ustedes. Y él me dijo que es que no me das dinero, por eso no te podemos proteger. Tienes que poner dinero para que nosotros para que puedas ser parte de la
Yeah,
asociación de
solamente cuando
nosotros.
le beneficia a ellos,
Exacto.
quieren ayudarle a
Y
uno.
eso es lo que le dije a él. Dije, no, pues, ¿cómo que quieren dinero? ¿Qué son asociación o son una mafia? Les dije. Y por eso es que yo choco mucho. That's why, I fight with them a lot. Because they know that I don't stand what they stand for. I'm not a corrupt individual. I'm all for my gente. And that kills them because they know what I stand for is the opposite, is what they're trying to destroy. They're trying to destroy what I stand for and what I am. You know what I mean? Pero se la van a pelar because you know what I
¿Verdad?
mean?
Porque tú sigues luchando, tú
Yeah.
sigues fuerte, tú sigues tu negocio, que nadie te para.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling me. I mean, if me querían tumbar in Richmond, and for me, it's like you just helped me open a second location. You know what I mean? You didn't fucking do anything.
They just elevated
Yeah,
you,
that's
they
what I'm saying.
pushed you up.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
like now en vez de tener uno ya son dos. You know what I mean? And van a venir otros más.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
No, thank you.
Congratulations. And honestly, everything that I've heard and getting to know you, it's been an amazing, amazing conversation. Sounds like you're very about the community. You're very Latino based, always trying to help others and push them up to be as successful as they can. And I want everyone who's watching this video to please go follow Tacos del Panzon on social media. I'll put his Instagram in the description and I'll put it right here next to him. And thank you. Honestly, thank you. It's been an amazing experience to get to know you. I definitely gotta try out the tacos. A ver cuando nos vemos allá en Vallejo, or maybe your location here in Richmond, como sea. Pero we'll check you out, bro. Y la neta, eres una inspiración. Creo que muchos tienen que ver este video para que sepan de lo que pasa in Richmond with the food businesses that not a lot of people know. Que not everybody there who te están dando la mano te quieren dar la mano, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Tú le das la mano y ellos te dan la pata.
Yeah, for real. It's grimy, man. Este negocio es grimy. I mean, once you get to this level, al principio todos eran tus amigos y ahora todos son tus enemigos. You know what I mean? It's a grimy game, but it's a game that I'm gonna clean up.
Yeah. Y como latino, mi familia es de Zacatecas y como latino, me da orgullo que usted diga eso porque es algo que necesitamos, ¿verdad? Necesitamos todos unirnos y poder sacarnos adelante y poder crecer juntos, ¿verdad? No ver envidia entre los negocios, entre el dinero, nada de eso. Es mejor, hay que crecer juntos.
No, sí, es que lo que tenemos que, pues unos como latinos, us, in particular, nosotros tenemos que reconocer que and it's something that uno no va a llegar lejos hasta que acepta que the saying they say que el enemigo de un latino es otro latino, you know what I mean? And we need to kill that stigma, you know what I mean? No debe de ser que porque fulano tiene más que yo, you know what I mean? No, si fulano tiene más está bien, que Dios lo siga bendiciendo.
Yeah.
Y ya mi día va a llegar, y that's what I really want to change, how we visualize, the Latino community, because I feel like right now we're at a point where the Latino community needs to stand together, and stand up for something that is, it's very important to us because it's our culture at the end of the day, la comida, everything that we do, everything that makes Mexico, our culture, is something that we need to, nomás porque llegamos acá, we can't forget about that. We got to remember que de dónde venimos y de qué somos.
Y darle muchas gracias a Dios, ¿verdad? Por la oportunidad.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for watching this episode. This was an amazing episode. If you made it this far into the video, please comment down this emoji. Gracias mucho. This was a amazing opportunity. I can't wait to see whoever tunes in. Y, I wish you nothing but success in your business. And if you ever want to do anything for the Richmond community, for the Latinos, I'm in 100%.
No, yeah, definitely.
You can talk to me. You can let me know. We'll see if we can organize something for the Latino community. Porque como dices, queremos ver todos crecer juntos como latinos, ¿verdad? Apoyarnos entre nosotros. Yeah?
No, yeah, this is lo que se trata.
Yeah. Well, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, peace out, everyone.